Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Foolery, and today we are checking out the Smythe versus Peter Parker 2-pack. Is this animated series Peter Parker going to be fodder for a cooler action figure? Stay tuned to find out. So we're checking out Smythe versus Peter Parker. I don't know how they came up with this combination. It seems a little weird, as Peter Parker doesn't necessarily fight anyone, but I guess they had to figure a way to get Smythe in there. I really wish they had did Smythe with his chair. That would have been dope, but I'll take a civilian Peter Parker. I don't know how good it is, but let's check it out. But before we do that, let's see if this box is better than your mom's. This box better than the box he was held in. On the front, we get this cool artwork of Smite trying to punch Peter in the face, him dropping his camera. I guess that's an accessory in the box. We get a box set that makes it look like it's two VHSs in the box. I really do like the VHS box that Marvel was doing. We get Smite and picture down the back, and the same photos that are in the front and the side. And it goes back to my gripe with Hasbro. It's like, bro, I get it. It takes money to do art, but it's a cartoon that has millions upon millions of cells to use. And yes, this looks like it's original artwork on the front. So kind of a slide, and also original artwork down here. But boy, it's like, yeah, they drew this one picture. That's all we commissioned them for. Good luck, guys. But I do love the design. I like the animated Spiderman logo that's on the side and how it flows into the rest of the box set. But like I said, I always wish that Hasbro would do more than one photo. It just seems lazy. Anyway, let's see.
Oh, what's in the box?
I tried to get them both on the stand so they could be spinning while I showed the accessories. Peter and Smite are fighting each other. They both want to lean back. My room's uneven. Sorry about that. But let's not talk about that. We'll talk about that when we go to if these things spot. But let's talk about what's in the box. And what's in the box is very disappointing. We get Peter's camera, which is fairly decent. We get two whipping hands, which kind of cool, but I wish they gave us the web slingers, which should be very common for this character, especially in the animated series. He had a lot of malfunctions with the web slingers and with the web shooters and with his cartridges and all that stuff. So you would think they would give us an accessory to put on his wrist, but we get a watch. And we get two hands for Smite. The accessories are trash. Those would have shot you in the head, because why? Why would you just give me one set of hands? You didn't give me the web shooters, but you gave me the whipping hands. I guess to make web shooters for Peter would have been way too much out of budget. Oh well. Definitely that shot. But let's check out the design on these toys and see if they make up for the lack of accessories. First, we have Peter, and I've seen a lot of people use Peter for civilian suits for their Lightning collection and for other people who normally have like combat gear on. So this is a very casual suit, and it does look exactly like the cartoon. I think the only issue is, and it might just be mine, that he has like this gap in his hair, which is super noticeable, and we'll zoom in so you can see what I see. But that is kind of depressing. I hope it's just mine, because it looks like he's missing a piece of his face. This side looks really good. This side, his profile is really good. Smite folds. And then we get a good look at his jacket. We'll zoom in and check that out. Are you going to fall, Peter? Yes, you are, Timber. Then we get Smite. And Smite looks really good. I love his hair and the way they have his tendrils on it. I really wish we got his wheelchair with it, but that's asking for a lot from Hasbro. But he has some small details in his thigh, and the detail in his leg is really cool. Let's get a stream close up and check out this guy and see how these details really look. In Smite, you can see that he looks really good. Some good detail in the torso. Let's look at his face. Face looks really good as well. That's some really good design. You can see this small detail in the back of the tendril back here. And I like this small detail right here. That's really good. He has some really good detail in his eyes, even though my guy's a little cockeyed. And then in his thigh, like I was saying, zoom out, focus. We have small details in it that really hard, not coming out on camera, but move, Peter. Nobody wants to see you. Then the detail in his arm, which are really good, and in his feet, and you end up with a fairly decent toy. I know it's only 2 colors, and I bust a lot of chops for usually just getting one piece of plastic, but this is a fairly good design for Smite, and this is how he's supposed to look. It's not crazy that he looks so plain and generic. He was a shirtless man who was mutated by the Kingpin and himself, so that's what you get. You even get small detail in the claws and his feet, so that's really cool. Now let me show you my friend Peter, who I have a lot of beef with. You can see there's a small gap in his head, and I don't know if it's a piece of plastic missing in my toy, or if that's how they decided to throw his head on. So this side of his profile looks weird. It looks like he's bald, but he decided to do a comb over. And then on this side, it looks just fine. On this side, it looks just fine. So bald, fine. Bald, fine. But other than that, you get a really good look of Peter on the front, who looks just like the animated version. So that's really spot on. The clothes look spot on. Maybe the color palette might be a little bit off from the show, but other than that, it's fine. Once again, I'm going to complain about the lack of the web shooters, but you have Peter in his watch and his wrist is showing. So why would you give me whipping hands if I can't shoot his web shooters? Because he does not shoot webs out of his hand. He's not Tobey Maguire. And that's it. Fairly good design, except for that bald spot on the side of his head, but fairly decent toy. But let's check out to see if these two guys can squat. So Peter has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. He has a swivel on his foot, no toe articulation. He has swivel on his wrist. He has does he have a hinge in his wrist? He does. He has a hinge up and down. I guess because they gave him the camera. So they gave him a kind of a gun handish kind of thing. He has single jointed elbows, which I don't mind because he's wearing his jacket. So I don't expect him to be doing crazy poses. He has a upper torso crunch. Not a lower crunch, but upper torso crunch. And he gets some decent range in his head and his neck, so not limited by that. The question is, as always, can he squat? Get his arms up that high, get his arms into a squatting position, and his legs are double jointed, so he should be able to bend that knee like we need him to. And he can squat kind of. He is limited a little bit by the jacket, but not so much in a squatting position. Can he let's see if he can do a superhero landing, and I'm going to tell you outright, nope, he cannot. He is missing some key movement points. Specifically, he has the waist turn, but his torso doesn't rock that far forward, and neither does his jacket allow him to get that kind of range. But you can get him to some cool pre-Spiderman poses. So it's not too bad. Not the greatest, but not too bad. He can take a knee. Not going to hit the ground. Not superhero landing, but that's fine. Superhero landing pose, no for him. And for Smite, we are seeing him. He can get his arms up that high. He has upper bicep cup, double jointed elbows. So he can bend his elbows 100%. If you don't fight me, don't fight me, don't fight me. Because if I break you, I would be mad. He's fighting me, and I'm not going to go full force, full throttle, Julia, and break it. That one wants to work with me, hooray. Double jointed knee. His ab crunch is a little bit better than his. Is a little bit lower. This is closer to his waist rather than his upper torso. And he gets into a decent squat position. He might have a better chance of super landing because his torso bend is a little bit lower, but let's check it out. And survey says he's trying. He's trying. He's trying. He's not going to get there, but he's trying. The lower torso does give him a little bit more range than Peter, but not much. You need to have butterfly joints if you're going to have a torso like this. But this is fine. You get decent articulation out of both of them. Let's talk money.
The price is wrong, bitch.
So normally these guys went for $50, but I got it on discount because nobody wanted Smite and Peter Parker. So I got them for, I believe, not half price, but closer to like $35 or so. Still close to half price, but not the $50 they were originally asking for. And at a discount, I say worth it, but full price, definitely not worth the money. This is a cool body for civilian play with other characters, but you don't give him any articulation or accessories that make it worthwhile to actually play with him or use him for anything else. So, but I do like the Smite figure. Let's wrap this up and give these guys a score. The box for the Smite and Peter Parker 2-pack is really, really good. I really do love the VHS style boxes from Hasbro. They're really good. Keep it up, Hasbro. For the design, both toys look like their animated counterparts, so that's really good. And can they squat? No. Peter is limited by his jacket and he can't do much motion because he has a high torso rocker, and Smite is just built weird. And for the price, this thing normally went for $50, but I got it on discount for like $34. If you can get him on discount, absolutely get him, but regular price, definitely not worth the money. And for my final score, I'm going to give the Smite and Peter Parker 2-pack a 4 out of 8. It's a middling toy with a middling score. Things holding it back is the lack of accessories. So one of the things I found out when I was taking pictures for the toy is that the Peter Parker hands, the watch comes off. The watch comes off. So you know what that means? Do you know what that means? That means you could have given us web shooters, Hasbro, and then besides that, it's just a really middling toy. That's it for me. I'll catch you in the next toy review. Peace.